Hey guys, what is up? It is Jimmy. Here we have the LEGO C96. So, I know I kind of literally just made this thing as the M712, but I did want to make an actual C96 out of this to kind of improve on the previous C96. So, yeah, let's just get onto it. So, it is kind of the same as the M712, except I ended up changing up the grip so that it was 3 wide instead, so that it, 1, would be more sturdy, but 2, also be a bit skinnier so that it didn't look so extremely fat compared to the other one. I did want to make it a bit more rounded, but I didn't really have enough of these 1x2x2 slopes, because then I would make kind of an offset with like half a stud sticking out on both of the sides here, but it does look really nice as it is. Where the fire selector used to be, there's now just this kind of gap here. On the other side there's also a little gap. We do have the same kind of gaps here. I don't really know what all of the gaps are for. I'm assuming it's for most of the mechanisms. The one here should probably be a bit bigger because of the trigger, if I remember correctly, but the trigger does take the space for that. The trigger does also work. As you can see, the trigger guard is not perfect. It could have been a bit skinnier and also a bit more curved, but I didn't really have the correct pieces to do that. We have the nice arch slopes on the back here, and the slopes going from the grip up to the slopes. We have the safety switch right here, which doesn't affect the trigger, of course. There's not really too much space. It doesn't really stop the charging handle either, but it is there. Here we have the hammer, which also just moves freely. It does get pushed down by the charging handle, and it can also lock up the charging handle, as you've seen in countless videos. So it is not rubber band powered, which I did want to actually accomplish with this one, but there is really no space for me to do that. It's also stuck somehow. Here we go. But I mean, it does work well with the way the C96 works. Speaking of which, this is where the magazine release used to be for the M712. The magwell is pretty much the same thing, except it does not accept magazines anymore. I guess you could still put it in there because it is still an empty chamber, which you can, by the way, see inside of the gun here. Can't really see too well. If I punch out the bottom, you can see it. You can see straight through like that. This is the way the bullets come out, so you just kind of have to pinch open this thing to get them out. You can see that I have built it sideways just to get the nice curve in the front and also allow for a bunch of space inside of here. You can also see on the receiver that it is kind of technically 5 wide, so we have a 3 wide receiver. It goes to 4 wide in the middle part, and then I have these brackets with some tiles on the sides to create some texture, but also some width that's not quite 6 studs, not quite 5 studs, more like 6.5 studs kind of, and it does add a really nice dimension to the pistol. The upper receiver sadly does not slide back as it should. The whole thing should slide back maybe a stud or so to compensate for recoil, I believe was the intention of that, but I could not I could not implement it, obviously. We do have some stamped details right here, which are just to create structural integrity, I assume. We do have the leaf sight here. I guess it's not correct to call it a leaf sight exactly, but you can move it up and down. You can also look through these sights. Probably a bit hard to get some focus here. This sight is also destroyed. There we go. That's the sights. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. I don't quite remember who showed me to use these pieces for rear sights, but I think you know who you are. So here we have the chamber, which is nicely sloped out and almost a little bit tiled out also. Okay, I'll just leave the charging handle off for now, I guess. So you can just open it up. Now we can actually load some bullets in here. So I don't know quite who to credit for this kind of design for bullets and a stripper clip. I know it's been used by so many people, MGN also. So I will sadly just leave this uncredited because someone just showed it to me while I was doing the live stream for building this thing in LDD. So I just end up doing it, and I'm not gonna credit anyone. I just know that someone invented this and that they were a genius for it. So we can load the bullets in. It's not so elegant. but it does go. Just give me a little moment here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you get the idea. The bullets go into the chamber. Down goes the stripper clip. Next up we have the barrel, which is a little bit short, I think. Shorter than it should be, but oh well. It does kind of swivel. It does just have an axle piece that is connected on the inside here, but it does work fairly well. It is pretty stiff. It doesn't swivel around on its own. There's the front sight, as I showed earlier. The muzzle is nothing really special. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I know it was a bit of a short video, but also a bit higher quality if you haven't noticed. I have gotten a new phone, so I have an iPhone now, so I actually have good quality, 60 FPS, 4K, whatever. So yeah, maybe we'll have a bit of a higher quality next video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys. Goodbye.